What up, chicken nuggets? Dr. Tyler Tarver here, and what a glorious day. A glorious day to be a person who collects quadrilaterals of shiny, strong people playing sports. That's right, cardboard dreams is what we're talking about, people. Welcome back to the Sports Cards Are Dope podcast. Sorry I came in so hot there. I'm really used to like presenting, and so it's like you gotta be like really energetic or else people are gonna get bored. Well, sorry, bringing that heat here. I need to slow down. How y'all doing? Hey guys, welcome. I'm Delilah. Thank you for listening to these groovy tunes on B98.5. Did anybody else listen to Delilah? Was I the only one as an 8th grader going to sleep listening to this lady talk real slow? And just tell me we're going to have a great night, everybody, just listening to some good groovy tunes. Does anybody remember? I might have made her up. Did I just make her up? She was real. She had to be real, right? Right? Okay, so we are talking today on the Sports Cards Are Dope podcast. Like and subscribe. We're talking about something that's messier than Ross and Rachel in the 90s, okay? We're talking about sports card market crashes, what we can learn from it, and most importantly, why you should care that this happens, okay? You know, junk wax era, we're in the junk slab era, whatever, okay? We're talking about sports card market crashes from the neon-drenched chaos of the 90s to the NFT-fueled hype of 2021. We're talking overproduction, we're talking speculation, and we're talking about some regrettable decisions. And I come as a humble man of experience who paid and was, grinding, like working the eBay comment. Hey, man, I noticed you got one KD rookie. Do you have any more? You could save on shipping fees. I was working my tail off in the eBay, direct messages to try to get KD rookies for $90 a pop. The white border. You know what I'm talking about. 2007 Topps KD rookie, where he's just standing there looking chill in his Sonics jersey. They're worth about $10 today each. Like one of my worst, granted, I didn't go, that was at the time where I was still like $100. I wouldn't pay $100 for a card. Thankfully, I got outbid on a $400 PSA 9 of that Kevin Durant rookie. I got outbid at like $440. They're going for like $20-$30 now at most. Okay. So think of this episode as the Toy Story 2 of podcast, okay? It's a sequel that you're going to be like, I mean, I've heard that before, but also, maybe. All right, so let's cut back to the 90s, okay? What happened in the 90s, all right? Why did the 90s sports card boom crash harder than your uncle on the treadmill that he got for Black Friday? Here's why. The 90s card market was like Blockbuster Video. It was everywhere, but overconfidence in where it was led to too much supply and killed the vibe. By 91, card companies, they were printing out 81 billion with a B, 81 billion cards a year. So many, I'm talking, Thanos couldn't snap his fingers and restore the balance to that card market, okay? They were feeding cards into wood chippers, all right? Like that really creepy scene from Fargo. Like they're trying to get rid of these cards. That was a terrible analogy, sorry. This is a child safe podcast. I'm so sorry. If it's just a case they haven't seen it, just so you know, nothing bad happened in Fargo, kids. Nothing ever bad, okay? Don't watch it. It's rated R. There's cursing. You shouldn't watch it. But for all you adults, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm gracefully laying down like a red carpet. The 90s card market, it was like MySpace. Okay, it had everybody's attention. Everybody was in. Everybody's doing it, whether they loved it because they want to collect and check off in their Beckett price guides, or because everybody else is doing it, it's gonna be worth money. Okay, I'm not immune to this. I never got really expensive cards from the 90s. They were all cheap cards. Okay, biggest card I had was like $60. I think it was that Mark McGuire USA rookie. You know what I'm talking about? And I didn't sell it at the height of Mark McGuire. Probably should have. Worth like $8 now. But I did do this when I was like 14, 15. I remember my mom would drive us every day after school. We'd go to Subway and get lunch before, come back for a basketball game. We'd go get lunch at Subway or Mazio's. If you're like a psychopath, you can say it that way. And I would, then we would bounce over to we call them Hallmark stores here in Arkansas, Hallmark stores. And I would go in and try to see if they had gotten in any new Beanie Babies. You remember Beanie Babies? RIP, those Thai Beanie Babies. And you're like, wow, Tyler, you collected Beanie Babies? Kinda, but not really. Like, I didn't have an emotional connection to them. I didn't have them like, oh, I got to get this Princess Di bear because I connect with Princess Di. No, I was buying them at 14 because my thought was I get them on the drop and the prices are going up like crazy, and I hold them for a year and a half, sell them all, and buy a car. Fun fact, your boy spent hundreds of dollars on Beanie Babies and then ended up selling them 2 years later to my mother for $50 total. All right. Not a great investment. That's where the sports card world was in the 90s. The overproduction of this is something that we can learn from. The overproduction in it's a market's kryptonite. It's like having too many people to a potluck dinner and not enough roast, my boys. You're ending up with 40 potato salads and everybody going, I'm hungry because ain't nobody want any more. I cannot shove any more potato salad in my mouth. I'm done. Leave it there for the dogs. All right. Now, let's relate that to 2021. The 2021 second quarter dip that we had, aka the deja vu, or is it a new era? We don't know. How did this market boom? How was it fueled by The Last Dance? You remember that? We just rewatched it the other day. It's a great one. The Last Dance documentary helped fuel it. And how did it bounce in? So the 2021, after it dropped down, it crashed like GameStop stock. That's tough to say. GameStop stock. I wonder if that's why it became so popular. I put like $40 in GameStop before that. I sold it for like $250, $300. Like I was like, oh, this is dope. I had no clue what was going on. I wasn't following the news. I just like, oh, I didn't know that was popping off. I'll return that. Yeah, what's up, boys? No big deal. The rise is fun. The memes are great, but then eventually people get stuck holding the bag. They get burned, okay? The COVID lockdowns, when I got my surplus money and whatever, every stock's going up, the ESPN Last Dance stuff, all that stuff was this perfect culmination. And it did great because I think it did bring new collectors in. I'm one of them. Like I didn't come in whenever it first peaked and all that because I was busy I do online stuff for teachers. And so whenever, having a bunch of Google tutorials, every school going remote, it was really good for me, but also very busy because the company I work for is trying to keep them going because, I know how to use the internet. And so I'm trying to help them, trying to make videos, but then also working with schools and creating those videos. It was like a great time for me to help push that forward. And so a little bit after that, kind of the fall of 2020, early 2021 is when I got into it. Called up my buddy Chris. I was like, hey, Chris, I know you were asking me to bounce into Walmart and find boxes of cards. Can you teach me? Teach me your ways, oh Jedi. I'm your Padawan. And so I'm like trying to learn about it. And so I got in right after, but it's like at that moment, it felt like sports cards were Dogecoin. All right. Everyone wanted in until they realized their Otani cards, their Otani base cards or their KD base, their Zion Williamson base cards that were PSA 10 Prisms selling for $800 are now dropping pretty quick. Okay. Y'all remember when Josh Luber came out with that Sports Cards Are Cool Again? No relation to the Sports Cards Are Dope podcast, unless Josh Luber wants to fund us. We are taking open sponsors, aka I'll do this without sponsors. Watch me cook. I'm just kidding. That was not. I just want to say watch me cook. He said in his thing, he talked about the FOMO and how it flips the script on stuff like this, and where hot cards become really hot, and then once everybody gets them, they ain't hot no more. Once you run out of people running to the front of the line on Black Friday, try to get a good price on that, 40-inch TV, 52-inch TV. They think 52-inch, 70-inch TVs. Took me way too long to figure out how big TVs are. All right. When you get to people, the line ends, and you got a lot of TVs left over, they're not quite as in demand as they used to be. So when you look at 2021 and that dip, you personally, did you panic sell or double down? Like your Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy. Declare bankruptcy. Like I've got cards that I've overpaid for. I've got a LeBron James. I didn't buy it at the peak. The peak, it's the Bowman where he's doing like that. I think he's doing like a little MIDI fader off the baseline, and it's that Topps Chrome card. I bought it. It's a BGS 9.5. Bought it for $3,200. Tried to cross it over at PSA 10. They sent it back faster than I think they saw it in the mail and resent it. They were like, Uno reverse. We'll take your $300 though for your whatever crossover grade. And so it's still BGS 9.5. So I've really got 3,500 into it. It goes for like 1,500 to 2,000 now. So I'm like $2,000 under. Worst loss I've ever had on a card. I'll probably do a whole episode on that. I'm still holding it because one, I think LeBron James got a lot of potential. And I think long term, he's going to be this generation's Michael Jordan. Like I know, like I don't want to compare him and Jordan because I was borderline obsessed with Michael Jordan my entire life. But You've got MJ in the 90s and the impact he had on me as a young person who loved basketball and loved sports and young collectors. And I think we're going to see a generation coming up. And when they start getting microphones, LeBron James is going to be the greatest. Just like before MJ, Wilt and Bill Russell were saying, hey, how's he the GOAT? We're the GOATs. Look what we've done. Then MJ took it. I think you're going to see that. So I don't think it's a bad hold long term, but also there's a lot more of those. I say there's a lot more. Those 86 Fleer MJs, there's a lot of those, but they're still really high. So I'm just holding on to it because I'm cool with it. And I'm thankful that the biggest loss I have on a card is a card that I'm okay being stuck with because I like LeBron James, love his career, what he's done, how he's handled it. On and off the court, I think he's just a great dude and a great father. And also, we graduated high school together. And I am a little bit biased, and by that I mean a lot of bit biased towards people that graduate high school the same year as me. Class of '03, greatest class ever. LeBron James, Mark Zuckerberg, and the host of the Sports Cards Nonsense. I'm not. I just called myself the wrong podcast. Sports Cards Are Dope podcast. Wow, sorry, Sports Cards Nonsense. By the way, if you can only follow one, there can only be one. Follow Sports Cards Nonsense. They're a better podcast than me. All right. Mike, Jesse, they're great dudes, really great people, and do a great podcast. But if you're looking for two, Sports Cards Are Dope podcast, of which I am the host. I was trying to equate myself to LeBron James and Mark Zuckerberg, and I couldn't even do it correctly because I knew how untrue it was. And so I pushed Sports Cards Nonsense in there. So another question that I want to ask is, how can collectors avoid stepping on the same banana peels twice? How can we not ride our little Mario Kart? Yoshi, by the way, is the best one to get. How can we not ride Yoshi over there, on Bowser's castle? And how do we dodge the falling stone things and the banana peels and not fall off the bridge on that one turn that we always fall off the bridge on? How can we do that? Okay, couple tips. One is diversify your collection. It's like building a fantasy football team. All right. You want to have enough backups in the important areas to where if one of them gets hurt or goes out or has a bad season, you can sub in the other one. Okay. Don't go all in on one player. Don't trade all your best ones for one, because even the GOATs have bad weeks. Like I said, LeBron James, a lot of potential, but that card is my biggest loss so far on a single card. It's not a loss till you sell it, though. Am I right? Michael Jordan rookie cards. All right. They're pretty volatile in the early days. There was one MJ PSA 10 that sold for $800,000. They're going for $100,000 to $200,000 now. All right. Imagine selling off, trading out all of your, 1990s Pogs for that one slammer. Ugh. You're stuck with the one. Like, don't go all in on one card. Diversifying gives you that. That LeBron card, it's not my only card. I've got a lot of cards that are up, a lot of cards that are down, a lot of players that are doing well, some that aren't. That's okay. I've diversified it to where I'm not dependent upon one card. So be very careful if you're going to go all in, if you're going to push your chips all in on one card. Okay. Think of sports card collecting like The Legend of Zelda. It's a long game. You got to have strategy, patience, and you got to be willing to zig and zag whenever it's necessary. Okay. And or at least get a really good subscription to Card Ladder. Not sponsored by Card Ladder, unless Card Ladder wants to sponsor. Holla at your boy. Panic buying cards because you think you're missing out on the rise, it leads to mistakes. Okay. When everybody else is running towards something, that's a good time to take a step back and think, is there really a fire? Or are they just following the crowd? It might be a good time to sell at that. Now, granted, Tyler, you're telling me to sell, but I sell, and then a year later, that's the new quarterback, and they're going to be, maybe they are. But I think trend-wise and percentages-wise, law of diminishing return, that's not related to this. I just want to sound smart. Whenever it happens so often, when the crowd runs to it, that's a good time to sell. Okay. And yes, you may miss one or two times, but a lot of times they drop. I'd say 90% of the time, those cards will eventually drop, and then you can buy your card back. Okay. Now, granted, this doesn't go for cards that are like 1 of 1s or, gold prism out of 10s. Like, those cards don't pop up as often. I know that as somebody who collects like Jordan Poole golds, they don't pop up very often. Now, I'll do a whole episode on this. I collect Jordan Poole. He's one of my he's one of my top 3 favorite players of all time. Okay. It's Steph, MJ, and Jordan Poole. Order fluctuates. Okay. With JP, I did a collab with a company, and I was ripping a Prism hobby box, only Prism hobby box I've ever opened. And I opened it up, and it was doing a giveaway. I was giving away all the cards. I pulled a true gold Jordan Poole rookie out of 10, true gold, of one of my favorite players. And I had to, the guy wasn't even in the live stream. I had to track him down to give him that card for free. I tried to buy it back from him. He's like, "No, man, just ship it. I might think about it." I shipped it to him. I hit him up, and then he ghosted me. And rumor was he sold it for like 13 grand at the National. So if you run across the True Gold Jordan Poole Prism numbered 8 out of 10, I pulled that card. I will own that card someday. I'm telling you right now, I will own that card someday. These cards that you give away at that peak, I could buy that, but it doesn't pop up often. Like, and I could say like, well, it's not worth 13 grand anymore. I think the last sale was like 4 or 5 grand for that because I've tracked it and I found it, but I was too late. It sold for like 4 or 5 grand. But it doesn't pop up every day. There's some cards you got to take a chance on and hold because they don't pop up once or twice a year at most. So the more cards that you can go out and buy immediately, here's the way I look at it. The cards you can go out and buy immediately on eBay, buy it nows, they're not the cards that you want to be like, I got to hold it if there's a boost, because you can always go back and get it later. Okay, so try to think if there's something spiking for some reason and you have it, it might be a good time to go with it, okay? And here's the biggest advice I got for you. And then again, this is just advice. Don't listen to me. What do I know? I'm just a YouTube math teacher. But my advice is collect what you love. Pick up cards of players you would want to have, even if it was worthless. Whether it's vintage baseball or Spider-Man PMGs, go find the thing that you want to have on your shelf forever and hand over to your kids and let them have that worthless piece of cardboard. Get stuff you're cool being stuck with. That LeBron card that's dropped, I like LeBron. I'm cool that I have it. Like, the biggest purchases I've ever made are cards that I like. And I have, I think, almost all of them. Like the Jackie rookie, the MJ rookie, the Jordan credentials. Those are the 3 largest single purchases I've ever made on cards. I still have them because I wanted them. Could I sell them if they popped off? The market went crazy. I don't know why MJ, or I guess MJ would have it if he passed away. Please don't, MJ. Stay with us forever. Hang out on your yacht and play basketball. You play horse by yourself. I want to keep them because they're players that I love and I want to collect them. So patience is key. Collect what you love and don't always look at them like short flips. These aren't penny stocks. I guess buying cheap rookies are penny stocks, but they're not scratch off lottery tickets. Okay. Don't chase the trend of what everybody else is doing. Yes, overproduction. These companies want to make money. They don't make money when you resell it on eBay. They make money from the drops. And when they sell it and they produce it and they create more, that's how they make their money. And so don't trust these companies to be looking out for the collector because they exist to make money. Okay. So be careful. Are we in the junk wax era now? No, because I think we have parallels. We got you're not going to open up a pack of 1988 Donruss baseball and get an autograph of Dale Murphy. You're not, because they didn't have him in there. You're not going to get a gold 1 out of 10. Like, I don't think we're going to see it drop as much with the wax stuff, but I think that, yes, those Zion PSA 10s that were selling for $800 at one time are now selling for $30 now. Like, that's happening because there's more of them. All right. So real quick, I love top 5s. I try to throw in a top 5 list when I can. Top 5 ways to survive a market crash in the sports card industry. Okay. 1, know your end game. Are you in it for profit or nostalgia or to collect or to keep? Okay. So collect who you love. Number 2, keep it diverse. Diversify, spread out your investments. I do this with stock market stuff, crypto, all that stuff. Diversify your stuff across players, eras, and even across grading companies, because Becca was big for a while, and now, like I said in other episodes, they drop in like a habit. Now that's stunting as a habit. I don't even know if that's not appropriate. I'm sorry. Also avoid FOMOs, fear of missing out traps. When everybody else is running and hyping up a card, take a step back and ask yourself why. Why are all these people pushing this? Why are they doing this? Because they just bought 100 of these at a show and now they're talking about how much they love them. Cool. I show videos all the time, shorts of cards that I'm collecting. I ain't got extras of all those. I do have a lot of extras of Jordan Poole, but I'm not selling them. Those are mine. Sorry, bro. It's a pump and dump, but without the dump. I'm just pumping, bro. My guy, Jordan Poole for life. All right, JP4L. JP for life. Sorry, I said that like 3 times in 3 different ways. I don't know why I did that, okay? Another tip is use the research tools at your disposal. Card Ladder, Pop Reports, eBay sold stuff. Use that, track it, track your cards, and then notice trends when it's going up or down. And then also, and this is one of the biggest ones, join a community of people that you collect that you trust. Don't just go when they're trying to sell you stuff. Follow people that you trust, their opinions and the way they're presenting stuff, and also people you can have conversations. Find your friend who's also collecting. Start a group text called Card Boys, BOIZ. Start a group like that you can throw in pictures of people that are happy for you. And I've been in card groups like that where it ended up becoming just like this, like people are just jealous the other dude's getting good pickups. And so it's like, it kind of fades out. Find people who are genuinely happy for you on good pickups and they sympathize with you whenever you make bad investments. Okay. So closing thoughts. And the question I want to ask you, are we destined to repeat the sins of the 90s? Or do you think we can learn from history? What are your thoughts on all of this stuff, the booms, the busts, all this? What are your thoughts on it? And do you think we're a little too cynical? Do you think that every now and then I'll post a video and like, car market's crashing, blah, blah, blah. What are your thoughts? I'd love to know in the comments on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're listening. Throw in the comments. If you're on Apple, they don't have comments, but you're more than welcome to go in and rate us 5 stars. Pretty place. So don't let the hype blind you on all this stuff. Follow your heart. Kelly Clarkson said it. That's what we do. Follow your heart on this stuff. Pick up cards you love and diversify what you're doing. So thank you guys for tuning in to Sports Cards Are Dope podcast. Be kind, have fun, never stop collecting. See you guys next time. Chicken nuggets. I'm a chicken nugget too. I'm not just calling you a chicken nugget, okay? I love chicken nuggets and I love saying the word. Say it with me. Chicken nuggets. See you guys later. Bye.